So, what's going on with the rig? I've blown her up. Nah, not really. So basically what happened with the clutch and with Toyota and warranty and all that sort of stuff is I didn't end up pursuing it. It was looking like they were not going to warrant it because of the bigger tyres, because of an exhaust, you know, all the usual excuses that get pulled out of the book. So, and in the end, even if they were going to warrant it, to be honest, I was not going to go that route. I had to think about it, and like I mentioned before, it's just stupid. Why put the factory clutch back in? Go with something that's heavy duty. So I ended up going to my local terrain tamer or Don Kayak parts and bought a heavy duty terrain tamer clutch. So they do 3 different clutches. They do an OEM equivalent, and then they do the heavy duty clutch, which is what I bought, and then they do like a fortified, like proper heavy duty clutch, which is supposed to be for military applications and armoured vehicles and that sort of stuff. So the heavy duty clutch I bought is 25% increase in clamping power, and I think it's good for 700 Newton meters of torque. So roughly double the standard clutch. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be very good. So, I went bush yesterday, did a heap of Ks, 600 or 700. By the time I got home, it was making a horrible noise. The gearbox, the clutch, something did not sound good at all. I was planning on going camping, was meant to be leaving today, putting out a nice 4-wheel drive camping vid. Last night I decided I'm not really going to be able to do that. Now it's not making a sound. I went for a big drive this morning, got everything warm. Perfect. Everything sounds absolutely perfect. The clutch, I thought it might have been a input shaft bearing. That's what it sounded like. Something to do with the clutch install, I don't know. Now it sounds fine. So I'm pretty wild about that. It's stuffed up my plans. Anyway, so at the same time, I'm obviously very happy. There's no bad sound this morning. It all sounds very good. What do you do? So look, just going back to what I said before, I definitely think it was the wise choice to go a heavy duty clutch. Now, it set me back over $2,000. The clutch was about $1,350 or something like that, and they did me trade price, and I got it for $1,100, which was really good of them. Local legends. And then the install was 7 hours, about $1,000 for the install, and they obviously machined the flywheel and whatnot. So I guess it is what it is. Hopefully this one lasts me a bloody long time. So obviously I'm not real happy with how the clutch lasted, but I honestly wasn't really surprised because we all know how these clutches can be pretty piss weak at times. Now look, my old man's got 2 of these Land Cruisers for work. He's done a bunch of towing with them, and he's never had a drama. I know other people that have never had dramas, but then I know people that have had dramas. A fella, Benny, who actually comments a fair bit on these videos, he's got a 2022 that has only about 20,000 Ks on it, and he said he has not modded it at all. It's just got some toolboxes in the back. So standard tyres and all that stuff, and his vehicle's in right now, or at least it was just in recently, and they dropped the box and put a whole brand new clutch in, covered under warranty. So look, when speaking to my dealer, it's the usual story. They kind of said, oh, we don't really see this much, this is unusual, and I explained to him that, you know, this does happen a fair bit. Not to everybody, but it does happen. And he said, oh, well, we don't really see it, and blah, 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 the usual story, which fair enough, maybe they don't, but this is Alice Springs Toyota, so they're the service centre for, you know, regional Central Australia. So they do see a lot of Toyotas going through their fleet, Toyotas and all sorts of stuff, and they do have a fair bit of experience, you know, so, but I think that a lot of people that go to replace clutches in these, and probably most vehicles, it doesn't matter if it's a Ranger or a Canon or whatever, like, if you've got a manual vehicle, 4-wheel drive, and the clutch goes, I think most people are going to go and put like an aftermarket heavy duty clutch in. At least if you're into the scene and you actually go bush or you do 4-wheel driving Anyway, I definitely wasn't going to muck around with it, and I think going an aftermarket heavy duty clutch is the best option. Obviously, there's a bunch of different brands out there. NPC do like a 1300 and 1600 Newton meter clutch, I think. Look, I just went to Rain Tamer because they're local. I can drive straight there. They had it in stock. I bought it that day, and Terrain Tamer's usually got pretty good gear. They supply the mines with a lot of decent gear, like aftermarket sealed bearing kits and stuff like that. The fact that it isn't making a crazy noise this morning is good. I don't know what that was about though. That was very strange. Look, while I'm here, I'll may as well touch on these seals. So, looks like I've got a left-hand drive. That's so annoying when I reverse this camera and use the front-facing camera to film, if I'm using my phone, which I do a lot. That's annoying. I wish they didn't make the phone cameras like that. Anyway, I've put the standard seals back in. So I don't know if you guys remember how the aftermarket seals fitted, but there was some massive gaps. And as you can see here, this is what it's supposed to look like, nice and flush. So the standard seals are good. Look, and I'll be honest, I don't know that those seals are actually making much of a difference to the wind noise. I think most of the wind noise is around this snorkel and even maybe the hurdle on this tray. There's just a lot of wind noise. There's not much sound deadening in these vehicles, as most of you guys would know. Honestly, don't think it was making much of a difference now that I've taken them out and put these standard ones back in. And obviously these seals are good. Like, it's not like dust doesn't get in, water, rain doesn't get in or anything like that. It was just a test to see if it somehow was going to stop a bit of the wind noise. Like I mentioned, I don't really know how that's meant to work, because these seals don't let water and dust in, which someone actually did comment that how's the wind noise supposed to get in if there's if you know, water doesn't get in. But it is something that's out there, and the seals are pushed as though they get rid of some of that wind noise. So we put them in, we tested them. I did say in that video that I feel like it's made a bit of a difference. I might have been wrong, got to admit that. So anyway, not a big deal. Another little job I got done was mounting these Max Tracks. Put some clips in right now. Usually they just sit at the back here with stuff all over them, and it's a bit messy. I'm going to mount them up here using this track. Pretty simple. I was going to either put them on the roof of the canopy or on the back here. So I decided to go against that for now. I just don't really want to drill into my canopy or permanently mount anything to it just yet. I'm also playing with the idea of putting solar on the roof. I'm not too sure yet. I got power on the way. That'll be a video soon. Rightio, so I can go from underneath now and stick a nut and washer in. Let's get one of these in. See how it's going to look. That's beautiful. Perfect fit, really. Anyway, that's that little job done. Like I said, it's nothing crazy, nothing special. Figured I may as well show it though. Bit of track from Bunnings, and you can mount really anything wherever you want it. So this is a good way to do it for me. Easy to get to as well. This is the easiest spot to get to if you actually use them and they're muddy and dirty. On and off here is the best, in my opinion, for me, for what I'm doing. So I reckon this is a very good spot for them. Like I said, a good spot for them to be dirty and very easy to get to. So like I've said before, we all know that there can be dramas with these clutches. Some people have dramas, some don't. And the whole thing about putting bigger tyres on, bigger wheels, and doing this and doing that, it's obviously a joke and the clutch should be better, but it's just one of those things. Some people have problems, some don't. And obviously a clutch is a serviceable item. It should last a lot longer than, I've done nearly 35,000 Ks, and a lot of those kilometers are pretty hard kilometers. It's not like it's just driving around the shop, but still, that should do better. They should, in my opinion, what do I know, but put a better clutch in from factory. Something that's suits the heavy duty commercial nature of the vehicle. I don't know. But anyway, there's a heavy duty one in there now, and it feels good. I think the clutch feels good. I'm pretty happy with it. Here's the old seals right here if anyone wants them. $1,000.